Poem Compilation in HSC EFT. Unit 2, Lesson 1. She Walks in Beauty by Lord Byron. She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless chimes and starry skies, and all that's best of the dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes, thus mellowed to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies. One shade the more, one ray the less, had half impaired the nameless grace which waves in every raven tress, or softly lightens o'er her face, where thoughts serenely sweet express how pure, how dear their dwelling place. And so that cheek, and on that cheek, and o'er that brow, so soft, so calm, yet eloquent, the smiles that win, the tints that glow, but tell of days in goodness spent. A mind at peace with all below, a heart whose love is innocent. Next poem, same lesson, same unit. I Died for Beauty by Emily Dickinson. I died for beauty, but was scarce, adjusted in the tomb, when one who died for truth was slain in an adjoining room. He questioned softly why I died, why I failed. For beauty, I replied, and I for truth, the two are one, we brethren are, he said. And so, as kinsmen met a night, we talked between the rooms until the moss had reached our lips and covered up our names. The next poem is from Unit 2, Lesson 2, Folk Music, and its title is Auld Lang Syne, which translates to Times Gone By Robert Burns. Actually, it is a song, but it's like a poem too, so I will read it. Based on folk song from Scotland. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and auld lang syne? For auld lang syne, my dear, for auld lang syne. We'll take a cup of kindness yet for auld lang syne. And surely you'll buy your pint cup, and surely I'll buy mine, and we'll take a cup o' kindness yet for auld lang syne. We two have run about the slopes and picked the daisies fine, but we've wandered many a weary foot since auld lang syne. We two have paddled in the stream from morning sun till dine, but seas between us broad have roared since auld lang syne. And there's a hand, my trusty friend, and give me a hand o' thine, and we'll take a right goodwill draught for auld lang syne. That's the end, and now I'm going to another poem. This poem was written by Jibananda Das, 1899 to 1954, and actually it was translated by Fakrul Alam, and its name is Banglar Mukh Ami Dekhiachi, and the English title is I Have Seen Bengal's Face. I have seen Bengal's face because I have seen Bengal's face. I will seek no more The world has not anything more beautiful to show me. Waking up in the darkness, gazing at the fig tree, I behold dawn swallows roosting under huge umbrella-like leaves. I look around me and discover a leafy dome, jam, kantal, bat, hijol, and aswata trees all in a hush, shadowing clumps of cactus and zadori bushes. When long ago Chand came in his honeycombed boat to a blue hijal, Bat Tamal shade near the Champa, he too sighted Bengal's incomparable beauty. One day, alas, in the Ganguri, on a raft, as the waning moon sank on the river's sandbanks, Behula too saw countless aswats, bats, besides golden rice fields, and heard the thrush's soft song. One day, arriving in Amara, where gods held court, when she danced like a desolate wagtail, Bengal's rivers, fields, flowers wailed like strings of bells on her feet. The next poem, it was written by William Carlos Williams. The title is Landscape with the Fall of Icarus. According to Bruegel, when Icarus fell, it was spring. A farmer was plowing in his field the whole pageantry of the year was awake tingling near, the edge of the sea concerned with itself, sweating in the sun that melted the wings' wax. Insignificantly off the coast there was a splash quite unnoticed. This was Icarus drowning. The next poem is wait. Yes. The next poem is Dreams, and it was written by D.H. Lawrence. All people dream, but not equally. Those who dream by night in the dusty recesses of their mind wake in the morning to find that it was vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous people, for they dream in with their dreams with open eyes and make them come true. And there's another poem named Dreams, and it was written by Langston Hughes, and it is one of my favorite poems. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field, frozen with snow. And next, we have another poem. And it is titled Those Winter Sundays by Robert Hayden. Sundays too, my father got up early and put his clothes on in the blueback cold. Then with cracked hands that ached from labor in the weekday weather made banked fires blaze, no one ever thanked him. I'd wake and hear the cold splintering, breaking when the rooms were warm. He'd call, and slowly I would rise and dress, fearing the chronic angers of the house. Speaking indifferently to him, who had driven out the cold and polished my good shoes as well, what did I know? What did I know of love's austere and lonely offices? And the next poem is going to be How Do I Love Thee by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach when feeling out of sight. For the ends of being and ideal grace, I love thee to the level of everydays. Most quiet need by sun and candle light, I love thee freely as men strive for right. I love thee purely as they turn from praise. I love thee with the passion put to use in my old griefs and with my childhood's fate. I love thee with a love that I seem to lose. With my lost saints, I love thee with the breath, smiles, tears of all my life. And if God choose, I shall but love thee better after death. The next poem is titled Wait. Okay. It's a poem Angler wrote about human relationship. Okay, here it is. Lying, thinking, last night, how to find my soul a home where water is not thirsty and bread loaf is not stone. I came up with one thing, and I don't believe I'm wrong, that nobody, but nobody, can make it out here alone. All alone. Nobody, but nobody, can make it out here alone. There are some millionaires with money they can't use. Their wives run around like banshees. Their children sing in the blues. They've got expensive doctors to cure their hearts of stone. But nobody, no nobody, can make it out here alone. All alone. All alone. Nobody, but nobody, can make it out here alone. Now if you listen closely, I'll tell you what I know. Storm clouds are gathering, the wind is gonna blow. The race of man is suffering, and I can hear the moan. 'Cause nobody, but nobody, can make it out here alone. Alone, all alone. Nobody, but nobody, can make it out here alone. And then there's another poem named From September 1, 1939 by W.H. Auden. I sit on one of the dives on 52nd Street, uncertain and afraid as the clever hopes expire of a low dishonest decade. Waves of anger and fear circulate over the bright and darkened lands of the earth, obsessing our private lives. The unmentionable odor of death offends the September night. And then there's another poem titled Peace by George Herbert. Sweet peace, where dost thou dwell? I humbly crave. Let me once know. I sought thee in a secret cave and asked if peace were there. A hollow wind did seem to answer, no. Go seek somewhere else. Go seek elsewhere. I did, and going did a rainbow note. Surely, thought I, this is the lace of peace's coat. I will search out the matter. But while I looked, the clouds immediately did break and scatter. Then went I to a garden and did spy a gallant flower. The crown imperial, sure, said I, peace at the root must dwell. But when I digged, I saw a worm devour what showed so well. At length I met a reverend good old man, Whom when for peace I did demand, he thus began. There was a prince of old at Salem dwelt, who lived with good increase of flock and fold. He sweetly lived, yet sweetness did not save his life from foes. But after death out of his grave there sprang 12 stalks of wheat, which many wondering at, got some of those to plant and set. It prospered strangely, and it soon dispersed throughout all the earth. For they that taste do rehearse, that virtue lies therein, a secret virtue, bringing peace and mirth by flight of sin. Take of this grain, which in my garden grows, and grows for you. Make bread of it, and that repose and peace, which everywhere, with so much earnestness do you pursue, is only there. 1633. Then there's a song by Bob Dylan named Blowin' in the Wind. How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? How many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? Yes, and how many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Yes, and how many years must a mountain exist before it is washed to the sea? And how many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? Yes, and how many times can a man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't see? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Yes, and how many times must a man look up before he can see the sky? And how many years must a man have before he can hear people cry? Yes, and how many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people have died? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Then there's another poem, it's a long poem, but an excerpt is presented in the book. It's taken from Samuel Taylor Coleridge's poem, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. And it's as follows: Water, water everywhere, and all the boards did shrink. Water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. Then, I think that's the end of the units. And now, I will recite some poems from reading for pleasure. Deathbed by Imam al-Ghazali. Say unto brethren when they see me dead, and weep for me, lamenting me in sadness. Think ye I am this corpse ye are to bury? I swear by God, this dead one is not I. I in the spirit am, and this is my body, this my body. My dwelling was my garment for a time. I am a treasure. Hidden I was beneath this talisman of dust wherein I suffered. I am a pearl. A shell imprisoned me, but leaving it, all trials I have left. I'm a bird, and this was once my cage, but I have flown, leaving it as a token. I praise God, who hath set me free, and made for me a dwelling in the heavenly heights. Ere now I was a dead man in your midst, but I have come to life, and doffed my shroud. The next is Hope is a Thing with Feathers by Emily Dickinson. Hope is a thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never, in extremity, it asked a crumb of me. And the final poem of this book is Bird by Pablo Neruda. It was passed from one bird to another, the whole gift of the day. The day went from flute to flute, went dressed in vegetation, in flights which opened a tunnel. Through the wind would pass to where birds were breaking open the dense blue air. And there night came in. When I returned from so many journeys, I stayed suspended and green. Between sun and geography, I saw how wings worked, how perfumes are transmitted by feathery telegraph. And from above I saw the path, the springs, and the roof tiles, and fishermen and their trades. The trouser of the foam, I saw it all from my green sky. I had no more alphabet than the swallows in their courses, the tiny shining water of the small bird on fire which dances out the pollen. Thank you for listening to all the poems from EFT or English for Today for classes 11 to 12 and Alim. I hope you have a great day. Peace out.